Mentorship Corner on Change Your Game. So in our Mentorship Corner, we look at the value of simplified data and how it allows leadership teams to identify pain points, find solutions, and make strategic and operational changes. This, in turn, has a positive impact on the bottom line and return on investment when it comes to marketing. Neil Pursey is Chief Executive Officer of MeasureByte. This is a company that provides end-to-end solutions for the challenges that impact business, from presented data of poor reporting, lack of insights, and the inability to make impactful decisions. So he joins us on the line to tell us more. Thank you so much, Neil, for your time. A great Friday to you.
Sure.
Great. What exactly are marketing metrics?
Well, there's a lot of them, and that's the challenge. But I think just simply, it's really to understand those important metrics that are actually driving business growth across from the CEO to the CMO to the person executing the work. So I think it's critical for business to understand the metrics, whether it's going for a broader audience, or driving acquisition or leads down at the bottom of the funnel. Those are the critical ones.
Okay, so it would seem clear that then they will have an impact in terms of when it comes to return on investment. But maybe please break it down for us in terms of examples of how they can impact when it comes to return on investment for businesses.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of the time businesses are focusing on the bottom of the funnel, so your cost per lead or your cost per acquisition, because that's the easiest to report on. But the real challenge is how to, when you're doing a brand awareness campaign or you're building brand equity, what is the impact on that in terms of growth? And that's the real challenge. The higher up the funnel you go in terms of reaching a new audience, that's the challenge.
Okay,
Yeah, I go for it.
So we cite some of the challenges in terms of their impact on presented data, poor reporting, lack of insights, and the inability to make impactful decisions. Talk to us about how individual businesses can change this.
So, the first thing, so a lot of the time businesses are investing in technology to try and solve this. But that's not always the solve, right? It really starts with the people and the culture. Mm-hmm. So when you have a business leader who's motivated to look at specific data points, because it's going to influence their KPIs, because it's going to get them their bonus and it's going to add to business growth, that's when you get motivation, right? So the important piece here, which we kind of solve for businesses, is aligning those personal KPIs with business growth, like what's important for the business to grow, aligning that, because now you have motivation for the individual and you have motivation for the business as a collective. When you have that in place, you can start aligning metrics to say for your CEO, what does your CEO need to be looking at? What does your CFO need to be looking at? That person has got X amount of budget and needs to be putting money into marketing. What metrics are they looking at? It could come down to customer lifetime value, profitability, etc. So the motivation piece is the real piece that we're looking at. So, like, why should someone look at a dashboard or a decision board on a daily, weekly basis? Because that's the motivating factor. I think the challenges that businesses have when trying to improve on their data culture is the lack of adoption of data. So we all want this data, but adopting the data and making decisions of it is a challenge in itself. So you need to find those motivating factors. And the reality is it comes down to your individual KPIs aligning to business growth. And you get that right, that's when you get adoption, and that's when you can start making those better decisions.
All right, so as you say, it's as often as every day and every week that you need to be checking in.
Yeah, I mean, with the CEO of a big organization, that's almost impossible because, they're obviously looking at more strategic data, which might come through not in real time, but maybe weekly or monthly. But middle management to those implementing the strategic work, they need to be looking at the data on a daily basis. I always say you need to be looking at the data before you look at your inbox.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the important piece.
right, lots of hard work for our business leaders, but let's share your social media social media handles and your website as MeasureByte.
Yeah, so you can find us on measurebyte.com, BYTE, or on LinkedIn or on YouTube. So we have a social presence on LinkedIn. You can just look for MeasureByte, or on YouTube. We also have a growing collective of content on YouTube.
All right, great. Thanks again for joining us, Neil. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Asanda. Thanks for your time.
Our pleasure. Neil Pursey is Chief Executive Officer of MeasureByte, spelled Measure, B-Y-T. So it's measurebyte.com. B-Y-T-E, sorry, with the E in the end there.
Mentorship Corner on Change Your Game.